Hello again, everyone. Engineer Kuing here. So today class, we are to discuss about module 2, specifically this one. So advanced modeling, section properties, and then the building materials and specifications. Okay. So module 2 is divided into 3 units. First unit class, we tackle about the advanced modeling tools. Secondly class, we talk about the section properties. Tapos, lastly, the third unit of module 2 class, we tackle materials and specifications. So without further ado class, we start with unit number 1. So the advanced modeling tools and model checking. Okay. So supposedly we have the very disadvantage again, diba, from previously from module 1, we discussed about the best way for us to model complicated structures is to model them first in CAD and then import them in STAAD. Okay? So again, the very disadvantage of that method class is we have to be very accurate with regards to our CAD model. Okay? So furthermore, we have to do this once. Kumaga, we have to do the advanced modeling to enhance the model that we did in CAD. And then for us to check as well the model itself. Okay, so let's start. So first, we have what we call the detecting intersections. Okay, so supposedly we can, intersections class are very important. Supposedly, the presence of a node in an intersection says that there is a connection between those two members. Okay? So parang dito papasok class yung ating tension bars. Bakit hindi ako naglagay nun? Wait, I'll get. Okay, so again, going back, supposedly the presence of a node signifies that they are connected or fastened together. Okay, so for us to better understand, parang dun lang sa ating frames, process specifically. Okay, so if you can see class, diba, supposedly, we know that there's a very big difference class with this connection here plus the connection there. Okay, supposedly a node there, or like, uh, that node there signifies a connection between all these members. So like all these members are fastened at that point. Okay, but this one, as you can see, the fact that it has no node or like it has no letters, it's not a joint. So it's like, these two members can be split apart. It's like you can pull them, okay, because of the very fact that they are not fastened together. Okay, so for us to have a better view, parang ito. Okay, so supposedly, at this point, all of them are fastened together. Tapos at this point, class, it's like there are just, they're just overlapping. But you can pull them. So this cord can be pulled to that way, tapos this cord can be pulled to this way, and then they will be detached from each other. Okay. So again, supposedly the presence of a node. So a node there, no? So supposedly for you to see the node itself, supposedly, beams naman to. Okay. So if you on the node, supposedly magkaka-node number yan, no? So if it has a node number, meaning the connection there is present. Okay. So meaning all the members connected to that node are fastened. Okay. So technically yung first step, we have a command detecting intersections. So if you have detected an intersection, supposedly yan, tapos if you turn on the node, tapos it shows no node there, meaning these members are not connected or fastened together. Okay. So let me show you the command on how to detect the intersection. So supposedly we just go to the geometry, tapos we follow the path. Okay? We enter a tolerance of 0.001 meter. Parang this one, it is how far those two beams are. Okay? Baga kung gaano sila kadikit. Okay? So, showing it class. Let's go here. Yan. So, supposedly, siguro let's view the top view. Okay? i-isolate natin class para mas madali. So, titignan nyo, we isolate the support, we look at the top view. Plus, how can we say, or like, how can we detect the intersections? Titignan nyo yung nodes na yan, no? Supposedly, yeah. So, ito yung sinasabi ko class, no? The presence class of a node number means that they are fastened together, okay? So, if we observe this part class, supposedly because it has no node, these ones are not fastened together, okay? So, this is one error. Kumbaga, di ba, from our import from CAD, parang STAAD did not recognize this point as a node. Okay. So firstly, how can we detect the intersections? So again, class, we go to geometry tab. Tapos dito sa node, beam. Beam toolbar. Okay. Tapos yan. Dito sa this icon, intersection. Tapos highlight. So supposedly, we enter a tolerance saying that those beams are within 0.001 meters together. Okay, so that's okay. Then yan. Supposedly, na-detect nyo yung mga intersections na yan. Okay? So kung titignan nyo, this beam and that beam, i-off natin yung nodes. Let's go to, yan, ito. Okay? So again, tignan na lang natin yung beams. No? Supposedly, again, we generate or like we highlight. Yan. Tapos enter a tolerance number. Tapos yan. So meaning class at the intersection, it was detected that beam 65 and beam 71 intersect at that point. Yan. Okay? So that is how you detect intersections. You just follow the commands. Okay? So supposedly, the next step, kailangan kasi natin i-cut. Okay? Like we have to place nodes on every intersection. Because as you can see, our project is pure concrete or reinforced concrete, no? So supposedly for every intersection, they have to be fastened together. Okay? So we have to, we have this command wherein we are to cut all existing intersections for us to create the beams. Okay? Kumbaga dito class, so as you can see, supposedly number 41, beam 41, and then beam 47 intersect at this point. Okay? Thus, if we are to cut them, supposedly 4 beams will be created. So this beam, that beam, the long one here, thus this guy and that guy. Okay? Supposedly, yeah, this is the command. So again, we have to cut everything, no? In cutting kasi, if we cut a beam, supposedly at the ends of the beam, nodes will be created. Okay? So if we cut all the beams at those points of intersection, it's like we are creating nodes at those intersection. And we have to do that because again, our structure is it's a reinforced concrete, no? So supposedly at all intersections, they are to be fastened together. Okay. So again, there are 2 ways on how to access the command. Okay. So first, we go through the geometry menu. Okay. Beam toolbar. Secondly, we have to click everything. So like you can, supposedly kasi we have to select the beams that are intersecting. Tapos at their intersection, we are to cut them, no? So yeah. You can also click the beams and then go to the beam tools menu. Okay? So again, class, I will show you here. Okay? So as you can see, if you want to cut this one, that beam and this beam, okay? So kung titignan natin, class, if we are to cut them at their intersection, so it will be cut at this intersection because these 2 beams intersect at that point. Okay? As you can see, if we cut it there, we will have 3 beams. Okay? So this beam, that beam, and then this beam. And in doing so, supposedly, if we cut them at those points, a node will be generated at the ends of the beams. Okay? So again, we do that, no? So how will we do it? So go for the first path. Technically, meron tayo dito, no? Geometry menu. As we go here, that one, and then intersect beams. Tapos we enter a tolerance number of 0.001. That's the one in default. Just press OK. So you can see class, beam number will be created here. Yan. Okay. So as you can see, supposedly, this one will have 3 beams na. 1, 2, and then 3. Gets ba? Okay. So same if we want to cut this beam and then this beam. So titignan natin the intersection of beam 196 and beam 171 is this point. Okay. So yeah, if we do the same command, supposedly, if we cut them, supposedly a new beam will be created, which is this guy. Okay. So we do the second method plus the second path. So again, we just have to click the intersecting beams, go to beam tools menu, tapos select intersect beams. Enter a tolerance number, press OK. Tapos again, a new beam is created. Okay? So whenever a new beam is created, matic, a node will be placed in the intersection. Okay? So generally speaking, supposedly, for us to correct our very structure, ito, we have to click everything. Okay? Tapos, we create the nodes at every intersection. So we intersect beam, supposedly cutting all beams that intersect. Okay? So pipindutin natin yan class, enter the tolerance value, supposedly if you press OK, yan. Kumbaga, all beams na are cut. Thus, at their intersections, we have the nodes, signifying that, yeah, at their intersections, they are fastened together. Wala tayong tension cables dito kasi hindi naman tayo trust. Okay? So that is how we cut beams or replace nodes at those intersections. Okay? Moving on class, we also have a command wherein we have to merge beams. Yeah. So minsan kasi class, di ba, let's go back. Yan. Mga we commit errors in such a way that we have cut those beams that aren't supposed to be cut. Okay, so we also have the merge beam tool. So let's just isolate the top. Okay, yan. So we have the merge tool, merge beam. Okay, yan. Supposedly, if you want to merge these ones, yeah, siguro you have, you have cut this beam. So supposedly, if you cut that, supposedly we just have to insert tayo ng node. Okay, so if we insert node, tapos siguro, let's just put 5. Ganyan. Tapos, okay. Ay, add new point. Add endpoints pala yan. Tapos, okay. Yan, diba? If you can see class, supposedly, yeah, placing nodes on the beams, also cut them already. Yan. So, diba, supposedly, we want this beam kasi class to be merged together. As in, STAAD should design this beam with the unsupported length of from here to there. Okay, so that's where the merge tool, merge beams come in handy. Okay, so again, we have two paths. So first, we can go through the geometry menu or through the beams menu. Okay, so again, we just have to select them all. We select all the beams. And tapos, we can go to the geometry. Tapos, under the beam toolbar, we'll find the merge beam. Okay. So, more or less, this is it, class. Yan. Merge beam. It's the icon of the merge beam, that one. Okay. So, if we click that one, class, a window will pop up. Okay. So, we just have to click merge. So, if you merge this one, it will ask you what number or beam number you are to retain or what beam you are to retain. So, you may choose. So, let's just choose 76. We press merge. Yan. So, it is back to one beam again. Okay. Yeah. So, that is the merge beam tool. Okay. That's another checking for us to make our CAD imported model better. We somehow adjust. Yeah, ito naman maliit na bagay lang siya, 'no. Pero if you are Uzi, you can do this. Supposedly, we have to adjust the node coordinates. Okay? So, at times kasi, 'di ba, we talked about coordinates na. We have this coordinate, is better to round it off at this value, especially if you have these ones. Asan? Oh, wala. Eto. So, we have numbers like this class, if you can see. Yan. 'To. So, it is like negative 1.42 to the negative 14. So, it's like times 10 to the negative 14. Okay? So, in a way, class, if we are to ano that one, we are to convert it into decimal, it is more or less 0.000013 zeros tapos 1 or 2. So, sa madaling sabi, it is more or less equal to 0. Okay? So, yeah. If you're just Uzi, in a way, we have may use rin kasi to, no? Kasi if those points, at some point kasi we have to consider, no, the duplicate nodes. Okay? So, yeah, you have to correct. Parang it's better just looking way so that we can be ready identify the duplicate nodes tapos we delete the duplicate nodes. Okay? So how we will do that class? So we have a path. We just go to the utilities menu. So edit toolbar. Tapos we open the command file. So this is the icon of the command file. No? Tapos we go to the joint coordinates. So if I show you class, it's in here. Okay. So again, utilities class and then command file. We have to save it first. And then the STAAD editor will open. Okay. Tapos kung hindi nyo mahanap dito class, just go straight to the table of contents. Tapos we double click joint coordinates. Yan. So what we have to edit class, again, we have to edit all those. Yeah. This is just preference na rin. Okay. As long as you are satisfied. So we just have to look for these ones. Yeah. If you can see class, ang pinaka ano dito, kumbaga in this editor kasi it is very accurate. So if we have a coordinate, no, that is it is accurate to the sabihin natin sa 15 decimals like that and so on. Okay? So kumbaga dito, it is better na lang to fix those ones with the letter E, the exponents. Tapos siguro you have to review everything, no? So you can see, if we review naman, supposedly these ones are the ones that have to be rounded off. So we just have to round them off, those ones, no? Yung mga may ganyan. And so on. So parang okay naman na lahat, no? Our only problems class are the ones with the exponents to the nth level. Okay? So for us to do it faster, in the command editor or STAAD editor, we have a find tool. So just press Control and then F. Tapos we have that one. Okay? So we just press letter E and then yung negative. So again, class, kung titignan nyo kasi exponent to the negative value. Tapos we just have to search, no? So let's go to the first one. Tignan natin yung pinakauna. Okay? So we go to the start of the joint coordinates. Okay? As you can see, yan, medyo malayo-layo pala tayo. Yan. Okay? Tignan lang natin guys yung pinakauna niyang, ay, sumubra na. Ito. So in a way, yan, no? Yung pagkita mo na yung joint coordinates, technically, ito na yung first. So yeah. Titignan natin class, meron daw sa line na yan. So you just have to look at it. Tapos kung titignan nyo, ito yan. 2.84 to the negative 14 exponent. Okay. So we just have to edit it because this is equal to 0. Yan. Para goods yan. So we have to 0. Tapos we go to next. Yan. Tapos for this line, that is also. So ito, change them into 0. Same this guy. Let's go 0. Yan. Pero more or less, that is, this value naman rin lang is equal to 0, no? Pero yeah, for better, ano lang class, whenever we search for duplicate nodes or duplicate beams, para kita niya agad. Okay? So we have to just edit this, guys. So as long as you are satisfied, class, kasi ito kaya pa naman i-detect. That's the use of our tolerance value. Kasi di ba ang tolerance value natin supposedly is 0.0001. So kung ganito naman yung difference natin to the 14th power, supposedly, kaya niya pa rin i-detect. Okay? Pero yeah. So you just have to finish everything. Okay? So titignan natin lahat yan. So convert to 0 and then this guy. Ito ulit to 0. Yan. So, tapusin nyo lang, class, no? So, after, if you are very satisfied with it now, or if you have finished, we just press save and just press save here. Or kung hindi mo man na-save, tapos i-close mo, it will ask you naman to save. So, just press yes. Okay? So, that is the second correction. So, technically, class, for our first correction, we are to, yun, no? We are to cut them. So, dapat every intersection class beams must be produced. Okay. Tapos, yeah, you scan. Baka merong yung tipong nag-edit ka. Tapos, mali pala yung edit mo. So, inalis mo. Pero nakat mo na yung dalawang yon. Okay. You have to merge them back. Okay. Tapos, in terms of the north coordinate adjustment, yeah, those are the first 3 steps in the betterment of our STAAD model. Okay. So after that class, we are ready na to do the node checking. So we have two. We have the node checking, tapos yung beam checking. So first stop, in terms of node checking, we scan for duplicate nodes, tapos orphan nodes. Okay? So in terms of duplicate nodes, yeah, again, it depends on how accurate you have drawn your CAD import file. Will affect the model instead. Okay? So you can see class, yeah, we go back here. Okay? So we just go to utilities, tapos this one, node tools. Ito. So in a way, class, this is the very checking for nodes. But prior to doing this class, again, it's better if we do the 3 steps we did a while ago. Okay? So we go to node tools. Dito lang sa geometry tools. Tapos first, we search for duplicate nodes. Okay, duplicate nodes, we enter a tolerance, yan yung default. Press OK. Tapos we have many. Okay, so in here, supposedly, we have an option to remove all duplicates. Okay, so supposedly, kapag sinipagan natin class yung pag-aayos ng coordinates, we can press this one. Pero it is better kasi if we just merge them together. Kasi if one beam is connected to the other node, no? So that's the problem. If we remove that node, supposedly the beam will also be deleted. So for safer circumstances class, instead of deleting the duplicate nodes, let's merge them na lang. So we have node like this one class, no? The first on the list is node 17 and then node 197. Instead of deleting node 197 class, it's better if we merge them together. So that whatever beam is connected class to 197 will be translated to the node that will be created if we merge them together. Okay? So we just click these nodes, that one. So just clicking on the list kasi class selects the node. Tapos we go to geometry, under the nodes toolbar, we press merge. So i-merge nyo lang yan. Yeah. Tapos you choose what to keep. So whatever the default class, the same kasi we are merging naman. So after we finish, okay na tayo dyan, no? If you can see, para proof that it was merged together, supposedly on the list, dapat, this is, hindi lang kasi nag-update. You have to close it and then re-click, like research for duplicates nodes. That is when it will update. Okay. So, yeah. So, proof class. So, kung titignan nyo, dapat wala na tayo ng 17197. So, if we click and then we go to the utilities, and again, we check for duplicate nodes, tapos tolerance of 0.001, yan. So, kung titignan nyo, class, nawala na siya. Kumbaga, since they were merged together, class, it is not considered duplicate nodes na. Okay? So, again, class, we just click on the list and then go to the merge node. So, okay. Isa-isahin nyo lang class until you finish everything. Okay. So if we merge those ones. Yan. So merge. So we just go. Yan. Okay. So supposedly, dikit na lang natin dun, no? Na-merge na ba natin yan? Yeah. To, tapos merge. Pagigilan ba natin dito? Pares lang yan. Tapos again, we move and then merge. Then okay, we move, then merge. Okay. Until you finish the whole list. Okay, so merge. Yan. Gets ba class? Okay. So if you finish them, if you finish everything na class supposedly, dapat wala na tayong duplicate nodes. Okay, so tapusin lang natin yun. Okay, tapos going back, we have the second checking in terms of node tools. We have what we call the orphan node. Okay, so the definition of orphan node, plus kung titignan nyo, if you put there, orphan nodes class are defined as those nodes na wala namang beam. Okay, so very example class, naglagay na lang ako yan. Di ba? It is a node class wherein no beam is attached to them. So, parang naglagay lang tayo class ng connection dun, pero wala namang nakadikit. Meaning, walang effect yan dun sa ating design. So, those are orphan nodes. Okay? So, we just have to click node tools, tapos click orphan nodes, tapos madedetect niya. Titignan nyo class, hin-highlight niya. So, it is to highlight everything class, no? So, if we just click delete, so just click the delete button. Ayan. Okay, tapos click the delete button. Ayaw. Naman, diba? Yeah. Just i-delete lang natin. Delete. Yan. Okay. Okay, nagtutupak. So, just delete it, class, para mawala siya. Yan. So, again, supposedly, if you are to recheck, so recheck natin orphan nodes. So, it should say class no orphan nodes found. Okay. So, that's it, class, for the node checking. Yan. Okay, so we just have to remove the duplicate. Not remove, yeah. Remove in the sense that we have to merge them together. Tapos, syempre, yeah. Check nyo kung may orphan nodes. Normally, supposedly, wala dapat. Unless, class, may nalagay kayo isang tuldok dun sa CAD, tapos in-import nyo. Tapos, recognize it as a node. Okay? Tapos, we have what we call the node-to-node distance class, no? So, at times, class, we are you want to measure the distances between nodes. Kunwari, siguro you are doing something, designing, okay? And then you just want to know the distance between those nodes. Okay? So we have a tool for that also. So just go to utilities, tapos meron tayo ng node to node distance. Okay? So again, pakita natin. Yan. So node tools, tapos eto siya. Node to node distance. Okay? So you just have to click that class. Click the start node you want to measure, tapos kung hanggang saan, the end node. Tapos it will show this guy. So titignan niya class yan. So however you zoom class, it is the same. Yan. Okay? Tapos, so just click. So if you want to know the distance from this node to that node, yan. Tapos from this node to that node, yan. So from this node to that node, yan. Okay? So, kung nairita ka naman ng class, you want to remove those labels, you just have to re-click the start and then the end node. So, kung titignan nyo, click ko yan, click ko to, nawala yan. So, if you want to remove this label class, again, you have to re-click the nodes wherein they are placed. Okay? If you want to click all the labels class, you just have to go here. Yeah, node tools, and then yan, remove node to node distance. Clicking this class will remove everything. Okay? So that is class the node-to-node distance. Ito lang yung nodes natin. Okay? Tapos we have the beam error checking na. So if we're done class with the node checking, we move to the beam checking. So in here class, we have 3 errors. We have to check class for duplicate beams. Okay. Tapos we have to check class for the zero length beams. Okay. Tapos we have to remove class yung ating overlapping collinear beams. Okay. So supposedly kung titignan nyo yung overlapping collinear beams, dapat wala na tayong ganun. Kasi di ba we cut everything. Overlapping kasi class is like we have a beam here. Yan. Tapos we have drawn another beam here from here to there. So titignan nyo class, we have two beams. One beam like that and then one beam that is longer on the same axis. So it's like these two beams are overlapping. But then again class, diba, we cut them together a while ago. Supposedly these two beams will be recognized as duplicate beams. I'll show you now. Okay. So again class here, we just go to beam tools. Okay. So first step, we check beam tools, and then we go to duplicate beams. So we check that one class. Supposedly, wala tayong duplicate beams. Okay? Pero for the sake class of when you have detected the duplicate beam, itsura lang yan. So titignan nyo, doblehin lang natin. So di ba we have beam number 69. So if you click class from that node to this node, supposedly we have created two beams at those same nodes. Okay? And then if we check class, again, we go to beam tools and then duplicate beams, supposedly instead will detect them. Okay? So again, dito class, since wala naman na tayong duplicate nodes in here, I mean diba, supposedly, as I explained a while ago, in terms of the nodes, we have to merge them. Pero dito naman kasi class, we are very sure na rin that all nodes are on the same point. Okay? So we just have to click ito. So all detected duplicate beams, we remove. So click remove all, then press OK. Yan. Supposedly, inalis niya class yung duplicates. Okay, if we have to recheck again class duplicate beams, supposedly it will say that there are no duplicate beams. Okay, next up class, we have the zero length beams. Supposedly, parang labas, this will become an orphan node na. So supposedly class, we enter a tolerance, tapos yun. So kung titignan nyo class, it depends on your entered tolerance. So kung gusto nyo class na way, pag kinonsider natin na zero length yung 3, yan, tapos press OK. I-detect niya class lahat. Lahat ng beams with length less than 3. Okay, so parang our tolerance kasi class, that is what we consider as 0. So if we enter at 3 meter tolerance, supposedly all those beams from all those beams lesser than 3 in terms of length will be selected. Okay? Then again, class, ang gusto lang natin is yung ganyan, 0. So, there are none. Okay? Tapos, class, we move on. We have the overlapping collinear beams. So, supposedly, wala rin to. Okay? So, ang itsura lang yan, class, for discussion sake, supposedly, again, we have 69 there. And then, we draw a beam, class. So, add beam from this point to that point. Supposedly, if we click that class, beam number 381 will be created. So beam 381 class overlaps with beam 69. Okay? So if we check class the overlapping beam, supposedly STAAD would detect them. So if we click this once, yan. So na-detect niya. Actually pala it detected 2. Because as you can see, 362 also overlaps with 381. Okay? So how do we fix this class? Kasi if you can see class yung ating window, there is no remove. Okay? Cannot remove the beam. Actually, dapat parang gawaan lang dito class, you have to highlight yan. Highlight the first beam, that is the first beam, and it overlaps with the second beam. Okay? So, ang pinaka-fix na lang natin dito class, we just have to cut them. Let's cut those beams here. Okay? Tapos, so parang i-cut natin yan. So how do we cut them class? Again, di ba, we go to either to geometry or beam tools. Tapos we intersect. Yan. Tapos okay. Supposedly, it was cut na. So we have this beam and then that beam. Okay? So kung titignan nyo, yung supposedly na nag-overlap, the beam with this length class was cut in here. Okay? And then we go back to the duplicate. So as you can see class, since it was cut, supposedly we have duplicate here and then a duplicate there. Tapos we just click, we search for duplicate beams, and then again, so yun nga. So as you can see class, since it was cut, na-duplicate na yung dalawa dito. So we just have to remove all duplicate beams. Yan. Tapos with that class, supposedly we have solved the overlapping na yan. Okay? That's that. Yan. So those were the checkings class in terms of the beam error. Okay? Tapos we have also to, we have to correct yung parang convention, the incidence of beams. Okay? So supposedly class, in terms of incidence, parang in terms of beams class, we have what we call the start node, tapos the end node. Okay? Tapos the start and the end node class are very important in terms of the design. Yeah. Yung design class is it has a certain convention. Okay? So supposedly, we have two conventions class. Now, it's either the start node is closer to the origin or farther. So supposedly, in my class, it is better to use this convention. Okay? So, paano ba yung start node and end node na yan? Supposedly, class, it depends. It depends class on how you drew the beam. Okay? So, if you drew the beam class starting from this node to that node, supposedly, ang start node mo is this one and that will be your end node. So, how will you see class kung saan dyan yung start tsaka end ng ating beam? So, just go to labels class. Tapos, eto, you have here class the beam incidence. It is named beam. Beam ends. Okay. Just have to click beam ends. Thus, you have to look at it class. So, the color green will be the start and then the blue will be the end. Okay? So, as you can see class, pag in-okay natin yan, ganyan lahat. Okay? So, if you can see class, this beam was drawn from this one to that one. Supposedly, it is the correct convention. Kasi class, if you can see class, gusto kasi natin, convention natin, parang it is towards the positive axis lagi. So, it's either pag ganyan class or pataas. Or kung Zeeman class, pag ganun. We have to draw beams class towards the positive axis. Kumbaga, the start class is always nearer from the origin. Okay? So, I'll just show you class if you remove this beam. As you can see class, it start niya dyan papunta doon kasi green is the start and blue is the end. Okay? If we delete this class, yan, delete natin, no? Tapos, we redraw the beam. So, add beam tayo class. So, from this point to that point, kung titignan nyo class, nag-iba na yung orientation niya. So, the start there and then the end here. So, again, class, the start tsaka end nodes of the beams class is very dependent on how you draw them. Okay? So, again, class, supposedly, para pare-parehas, para pag nag-design din si staan class, it always starts kasi at the start beam, start node to the end node. We have to correct everything for the same convention. Okay? So, ang galawan lang, class, we have to click the whole structure. So, we have to click the whole structure, class, no? So, kung titignan natin, ipakita ko lang kung saan dun yung ayaw natin. I mean, what are the erroneous beams? Yung mga incidences natin, no? So, as you can see, class, again, So, ito pag ganun, ito pag ganun. Yan. So, this beam class, tsaka this beam class, supposedly, tama lang pala kasi z-axis. So, ito class, no? So, ito kung titignan nyo, so just look at the axis as for basis. Okay? Kung titignan natin, class, this beam is incorrect in terms of the convention kasi gusto natin, class, diba, towards the positive x-axis tayo. So, ganito dapat. Okay? So, if you were to correct that one class, kung isahang correct, just go to utilities, tapos beam tools, tapos beam incidence. Tapos, we click this one kung gusto mong i-switch yun. So, if you click the switch incidence of selected beam class, click OK. Kung titignan nyo, naayos na natin yung orientation niya. Okay? So, pwede namang isa-isang ganun class. But naging class this time, pwede ring isahan na mismo. Kumbaga, we can correct class that error in terms of one command. Okay? So, what we do class is we just click the whole structure, we go to beam tools, utilities, and then beam tools, and then beam tools, and then we go to beam incidents. Okay, clicking beam incidents class, we have these three options kasi. We are to switch the incidence of selected beams, okay, or we are to set the beams wherein the start node is closer to the origin. Okay, tapos the third class, select so that the start node is farther. So again, class, since we want that the beams are to be oriented, drawn class from towards the x-axis, I mean the positive axis. So we choose this one, the one closer class, wherein the start node is always closer to the origin. So if you click OK class, with that, supposedly, all of the beams class are oriented correctly na. Okay? So that, yun. Okay, tapos, yeah. So we also have what we call the beam dimension. Okay? So dito naman class is just like yung node-to-node distance natin. Okay? So you just follow the path here, class. So this time, class, meron lang tayong window na ipapakita, no? So medyo mas complicated na if you want to label the beam dimensions. Okay? So how we will do that, class? Let me just isolate ito. Yan. Okay? So if you want class to know the distance of beam 74, again class, we just have to go to utilities, tapos beam tools, tapos there is an option there, class, wherein beam dimensions. So if you click the beam dimensions, class, this interface will come out. Okay? So kung titignan nyo, class, we have three options. It's either we view the dimensions, dimension to view, so whatever class is in the display menu, we can view the dimensions. Tapos we have the dimension selected beams. Tapos we have the dimension to list. Okay? So supposedly, from view, again, we'll just show, no? Everything that is in the display area class, yeah, their dimensions will show. Okay? If you want to remove class, just tick the remove and then remove the ones on the view. So remove it. Everything will be removed. Okay? Tapos if you just want class to view the dimensions of the selected beams. So para yan, yung 318. So you just have to click them. So siguro 318, 76, and then the 365. Tapos again, class dimensions of selected beams display class, it will show. So you can say class 1, 2, 3. Okay? If you want to remove class, siguro kung gusto mo lang i-remove class is yung ito, then click remove kasi selected beams. Okay? So if you want to remove everything naman na class, you can go to remove view. So parang it's the manner of selection lang class yung nandito. Okay? So meron din yung list class. Pag tinatamad kang i-click or hindi mo maklik, as long as you know the beam number class, you can display them. Wari class, ito. So we enter 71. Okay? Just separate them class with commas. Tapos yung 65 and then 78. Okay? Tapos we have to display them class. So it will show. So 71, 65, then 68. Okay? So if you have to remove naman class, ang gusto mong alisin lang dyan is yung 78. So just type 78. So naalis yung 78. Medyo nag-ano lang yan. Yan. Okay? So let's remove everything class. So we also have that option. Okay? Tapos we have the node numbering also. Okay? So supposedly, ang node numbering natin, meron lang tayong option na ganyan, no? So just follow the path class. Ito. So in terms of the numbering of nodes lang class, it's better, no? If we number the nodes in terms of floor levels, oo. Parang for faster recognition class in terms of error. So pwedeng yung nodes mo class, siguro in-number mo per floor. Tipin mo na lang parang yung sa buildings class, di ba? Supposedly, first floors, the rooms in the first floors class are named 100, 101, 102. Okay? So parang the idea, that's the idea class. Okay? So paano yun class? So in here class, we just have to, kumbaga the very idea class of node renumbering, di ba? If we have removed the duplicate nodes, the number nodes, the orphan nodes, parang para mas maganda lang class yung numbering natin, we have to renumber them. Kasi class yung mga dinelete natin na those, they have their own numbers. Okay? So parang we have to renumber everything. So this is the toolbar class, I mean the path. So I'll just show you class, no? So So again, class, we want to renumber everything. So we just view the whole structure. We remove na lang class yung beam incidents. Yan. Consider rin natin yung, yan. Okay? Sige po, ilabas natin yung numbering ng nodes yan. Okay? So, para walang butal class, again, you just have to click this guy. So, pag click natin class, mali. You have to change first pala class into node cursor. Kasi if you are to renumber the nodes class, we have to select all nodes. Okay? Tapos we go class to geometry. Tapos go to ito, renumber nodes. Okay? So, it is this icon. So if you click renumber nodes class, tapos we have to save it, yes. Tapos yan. So dito lang class, pwede mo actually i-edit kung ano yung starting point niya. Kung gusto mo ng ano yung orientation ng class ng ating numbering. Tapos kung saang direction yung numbering natin. So gusto natin pataas class yung bilang. So lagay natin y coordinate. Okay. Yan. Tapos we start with node number 1. Yan. Tapos accept. So kung titignan nyo class, we have better numbering na. So kumbaga, ang pinaka-last node natin dito class is 208. So it is from 1. So pataas kasi class, di ba? Kasi we start, ang option natin doon class is y-axis ascending. So we start from here class pataas. So supposedly, makikita nyo, yun yung last node natin. Okay? So that is class how you renumber nodes. Yan. Tapos we also have class what we call the beam renumbering. So same class, di ba? Kasi nag-check tayo class ng beam error. So supposedly, we deleted certain nodes. Okay? So ganun din. Parang this time class, we just have to select the beams first. Ito. So again class, we go to beam cursor. So yun yung default natin. So just press escape. Okay? So we just have to press escape. Tapos we click everything. Click all the beams. Tapos we go to geometry under beam toolbar. We have this option class yan, yung may 1, 2, 3. Okay? So we click that one class. Tapos we have to save it first. And then again, you can edit. So again, we start with beam number 1. Gusto natin class ascending in terms of the y-axis. Just accept. So with that class, we have renumbered everything. Okay? So as easy as that class. So moving on class, we have a sample problem. Yeah. So sample problem number 1 class. We just have to renumber daw the nodes. Okay, so kung gusto niya class, ito. Saan ba to? So given this guy daw class, given the structure here, supposedly, i-renumber natin using the following specifications. So all nodes class in the footing and the basement, we call them nodes 1 to 99. Okay. Tapos first floor nodes class from 100 to 199 and so on. Okay. So again class, let me just isolate that guy. Yan. Okay. So pakita ko lang ng bilisan. Yan. Top view. Ito. Okay. Ito ata yung isolate ko naman. Ayan. Okay. So titignan nyo class. Supposedly, sabihin na natin yan yun. No? Yan naman yun. No? It's the same orientation. Okay. So again class, supposedly we are to number the footing nodes to basement nodes from 1 to 99. Okay. Kumbaga, this is the idea class of the room. So all the first floor nodes class will be 100 to 199. Second floor is from 200 to 299. Third floor class is from 300 to 399. Tapos the roof deck class or the roof beam nodes, 400 to 490. Okay? So paano yan? So supposedly class, if we are to rename, minsan kasi class, kung ano na yung naming class ng mga nodes dito, hindi natin pwedeng ulitin. Kumbaga kung titignan nyo class, magsiskip. Ayusin ko lang class yung, kasi hindi kita yung numbering niya, no? Hindi ko kasi tinapos yung duplicate nodes eh. I-merge ko na class, no? So like, let me just finish. So, yeah. Okay. Merge. Okay. Wala yun. Merge. Okay. How come it cannot merge those three? So coordinates 0. Working. It's showing. So, tapusin ko lang class lahat, no? We have to get rid of this one. Siguro para mabilis, node cursor. Alam naman natin class, di ba? In-isolate naman natin yan. Supposedly, everything is in here class. I-merge natin. Yan. Okay. Magandami lang na ulit dun. Yan. Para malinis lang tignan. So that you're able to view class yung ating, ito. Yan. Okay. So again, class, my point a while ago is we cannot use 1, 2, 3 because it was already used class on this point. Kumbaga, this number class will be skipped. Okay? Kumbaga, if we are to renumber this one class, no? Tapos kung mare, ito, this is 1, 2, 2. This is 1, 2, 2. The next one class, it will name it 1, 2, 4. Bakit? Kasi 1, 2, 3 was already used. Okay? So for us to avoid that class, we have to rename everything muna. Rename natin class yung hindi natin gagamitin. So supposedly, we renumber this class, no? So renumber natin, renumber nodes, tapos we have to save first class. Gusto natin ascending, no? Ascending pa ganyan. So pwede palang dalawang doon kung gusto nyo define yung x to y. So again, class, again, di naman tayo gagamit ng 1,000, no? So, rename na lang muna natin sila ng 1,000. So the idea, class, is we have to rename everything so that in such a way, class, na we will not be the duplicate number para dire-diretso para makita nyo. Okay? So supposedly, class, again, we renumber it. So as per yung ating class, footings and then basement. So ito na yung basement, no? We renumbered them, class, from, so again, 1 to 99. So technically, since naman yan aalalagpas sa 100 class, start lang from 1. So parang ini-edit lang natin, class, dito is the starting number. Okay? So accept natin yung class. As you can see, yan. Supposedly, all the nodes here, class, will be numbered from 1 to 99. Okay? Tapos ground floor class, we renumbered them as 100. So again, just go for yan, class. So ito na i-edit natin, class. Supposedly, ang starting number natin, class, we start from 100. Okay? So if you accept, class, yan, titignan nyo, ito sa numbered class in terms of the start node 100. Okay? Tapos second floor class, again, we number it. Supposedly, we just have to start from 200. Tapos, ascending y, accept. Okay? Tapos dito namang class, again, is the third floor. Supposedly, we number it starting from 300. Tapos, in terms of y, yan. Okay? Lastly, class, ito. So again, renumber natin, class, yes. Yan. So again, class, this one, we start at 4, meaning it is a floor level. Accept. Okay? So kung titignan nyo, class, okay na tayo. We have already met, class, the specifications. Okay? Kung titignan nyo something ganito. So basement, footing, 100. Okay? Sample problem number 2, class, this time we have to renumber naman, class, yung beams. Okay? So this time, class, supposedly we are to segregate the structural beams from the structural columns. So supposedly, in terms of beams, class, ito yung numbering natin. In terms of column, class, we start lang from 200, 2,000. Okay? So parang same class numbering per floor, we just have to add 2,000. Okay? So again, class, kung titignan nyo, same structure yan. Ito. Okay? Pero this time, class, arisin natin yung node number. Yan. Okay? Lagay natin, class, yung beam numbers yan. Okay? So again, class, kailangan natin i-correct ito. So supposedly, beam cursor lang tayo. Okay? So we have to click muna natin to. So basement beams, class. Supposedly, we are to remember the basement beams. Please select relevant entities. Ay, dito pala class tayo. Clinic ko yung renumber node. Ito dapat yung option class na yan, yung may 1 to 3 na beam. So again class, we click that one, save it first. Yeah, pa-y coordinate na lang tayo class. So gets naman natin yung dito class. No? So kung gusto nyo pa-x coordinate, actually pwede rin naman yan eh. Okay, so pwede lang ibalik yan class. Tapos gusto nyo x coordinate kung ano yung numbering niya. Yan. Okay. Tapos again, class, in terms of the basement beams, we start from 1 kasi 1 to 99 yan. So just press accept. Yan. Ay. Again, class, we have to renumber pala everything. So kung titignan nyo, class, no, hindi niya tinanggap yung 1 to 100 kasi fully filled na class yung 1 to 99. So ang ginawa na lang niya, class, renumber niya dun sa susunod. Okay. So again, class, we have to renumber everything muna. Renumber natin siya, class, ng siguro 3,000 kasi hindi naman tayo gagamit ng 3,000 and above. Yan. Hindi tayo naglagay ng access. Again, class, yan. Tapos yes. And then, we start class from 3K. Titignan nyo class 3K, no? Tapos, lagay tayo ng access. So, y ascending tayo, accept. So, kung titignan nyo class, it was renumbered 300. So, with this class, we are free na class to renumber whatever you want. I mean, yeah, hindi naman whatever you want, but in terms of these specifications. Okay. So, again, class, renumber natin yung basement. Again, class, we start with 1. Pwede namang x-coordinate. Pwede rin naman dalawa. Yan. So, titignan nyo class from 1 to ganun. Okay. Tapos class, again, second floor beams. Ay, first floor pala ito kasi basement yun eh. So again, class, we start here naman class from 100. Okay. Press accept kung titignan, hindi tayo naglagay ng axis. Again, class, we start class from 100. Tapos lagay tayo ng axis. Tapos press accept. Okay. So kung titignan nyo class, the changes are there. And so on. So if we click this one class again, tapos renumber natin. Yes. Okay. So y coordinate. Yan. Tapos we start class, that's the second floor, we start with 200. Okay. Tapos we go move class to third floor. Renumber natin class, we start from 300. Tapos choose an axis in terms of naming. Okay. Lastly class, yung roof deck or yung roof beams, supposedly we renumber them class since it is after the third floor. Parang 400 tayo. Okay. So with this class, we are done with the beams. Okay. So in terms of the columns class, supposedly the column pedestal daw class, tas yung basement column. So this ones and that ones, we name this class as 2000 to 2099. Okay. So the columns, column pedestals, yan yun. Tapos basement columns. Okay. We renumber them class. Again, we start with 2,000. Kasi it's from 2,000 to 299. Diba? Hindi naman yan abot ng 99. Hindi na lalagpas yan. Okay? Tapos, first floor columns. So, first floor columns naman class, we start from 2,100. Tapos, y coordinate accept. Ayan. Okay. Tapos, class, we move to the second floor columns. Again, class, since it is the second floor columns, we start with 2,200. Select an axis, accept. Okay. Tapos, class, third floor columns. Yan. So, since yung third floor class, start with 2,300. Select an axis, accept. Okay. So, with this class, supposedly, we have already met the specifications in terms of the beam numbering. Okay. So, parang yan yung sagot class. So, we stop class part 1 of module 2 in here. We continue class to the next video. Thank you very much for coming. Bye. See you at the next video class.